So I'm Jared Gucci. Good afternoon, everybody. I am happily married and the proud father of 5 beautiful daughters, ranging in age from 4-year-old twins all the way up to a 16-year-old boy-crazy teenager. Now, you can imagine with all these girls in my house, I need a whole bunch of tools just to get through any given day. Over the years, I've actually come up with the top 3 tools that can get me through any situation and give my daughters the best support possible. Tool number 1, depending on their age, candy or money. No doubt, no doubt. Tool number 2, smartphones. There is no way that we can go out to dinner and actually survive it without our smartphones. They are children pacifiers, for sure. And when these 2 tools are unsuccessful, I rely on tool number 3, which is mom. Mommy can fix everything, especially all of daddy's mistakes, for sure. Now, I can prove to you that these tools work by looking very closely at this picture. Here we have the twins here, Eva and Mia, extremely excited because they're sucking on some ring pops. We have my 16-year-old Carmina. I just gave her $40 to do some shopping. Big old grin on her face, right? Kiera, 8-year-old, she's got a whole bag of candy on her arm. You can see it there. That's full of candy. And then Caitlin, our 12-year-old, poor Caitlin. She's not too happy in this picture. Can you see it in her face? Her phone just died. Unbelievable, unbelievable. It's important to understand that with powerful platforms come complicated circumstances. Apple employs over 93,000 people. A third of those employees are part of the Apple support team. Google employs over 58,000 people, and almost half of those employees are dedicated to troubleshooting support. Now, it is true that WordPress can make all of your web dreams come true, but it does need support from time to time. So, what are we going to cover today? Before I get started, I actually want to share a short story with you. About 2 weeks ago, mid-afternoon, there was a frantic knock at my front door. I answered the door, and it was the nanny of the 2-year-old girl next door. And she was in a complete panic because this poor little girl locked herself in the bathroom. I tried to calm her down best I could, and I said, let me grab some tools, and I'll be right over to help you out. I went into my garage. I grabbed a flathead screwdriver. I grabbed a Phillips screwdriver, and I grabbed a wire coat hanger. I rushed over to the neighbor's house, and within seconds, I was able to use the wire coat hanger to unlock the door, let the little girl out. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because there was a problem that required a set of tools to resolve it. Now, when I went into my garage, I could have grabbed a hammer. I could have grabbed a saw. I could have grabbed a crowbar. I could have even grabbed my welding torch, because all of these tools would have opened up that door and let the little girl out, but they weren't necessarily the best tools for the job. With over 41,000 free plugins available on WordPress.org and thousands more available elsewhere online, it can be a bit overwhelming to find the right tools for the job. What I hope to do today for you is arm you with a good set of basic tools so you can support WordPress, okay? The defined approach to building your WordPress toolkit can be broken up into 3 categories. The first category is organization. The second category, communication. And the third and most important category is knowledge. And the reason knowledge is a different color and bigger than the other 2 is because it is the most important. If you do not have the knowledge, you cannot provide top-notch WordPress support. And we're going to dive into each one of these categories, and I'm going to provide you with some tools that you can use right away in each one. Now, before we get into the thick of things, it's really important to remember that us as WordPress super users and super fans, we are the individuals online changing the web forever. And one of the things that makes everybody in this room very great is our willingness to share information and ideas. That's what we're doing all day long here. I'm going to be sharing some of mine in a moment, but I want to encourage everybody in this room as we go along if you have tools that you want to share as it relates to this talk, I want to hear about it. Okay? Fair? Is that deal? All right. So here's the plan. We're going to talk about why WordPress needs support. We're going to talk about who's responsible for that support and the tools you can use to actually provide that support. Now, I want to save everybody's camera roll and your fingers. No typing, no taking pictures. It's not necessary. These slides are available right now at this address here. And throughout this presentation, you are going to notice italic, underlined brown text. These are going to take you off to hyperlinks on the web that give you much more detailed information. All of these URLs were handpicked and very helpful information outside of these slides. Okay, this is actually my favorite slide. And I don't care what I'm talking about at WordCamp, I always use this slide. How many first-time WordCampers? Okay, great. So the majority of the people in this room. This is why this slide is so powerful no matter what I'm talking about. You have to understand how powerful WordPress is no matter what you want to do with it. And I'm going to share a few stats here with you. Over 50 million downloads of WordPress. 100,000 new sites created every single day. Every single day. 41,000 free plugins. You heard me say that earlier. 2,000 free themes. 571 WordCamps in 48 countries. That's insane. When I first started using this stat, which was 3 years ago in this, or 2 years ago in this exact same room, which was the first time I ever spoke at WordCamp, this was only 375, 2 years ago. Okay? If you asked people 5, 10 years ago what WordCamp was, nobody knew. So congratulations for being part of something great, and I hope you continue to after this beautiful camp as well. So who's responsible for WordPress support? Who's responsible? WordPress.com? You are. Yeah, you are. WordPress.org? No. If you're building sites for clients, unless they're paying somebody else to do it or they want to do it themselves, you're responsible. If you're building sites for yourself and for your own projects, unless you're paying somebody else to support it, you're responsible. Can WordPress exist without support? Or any software for that matter? No. Can it exist without support? No, it can't. It needs to be supported. Let's talk about some of the things, and you guys all know a few of these at least, some of the things that can actually cause WordPress to break. The first one on the list, and very near and dear to my heart, is hosting requirements. Okay? There are special server requirements that WordPress needs in order to function properly. I didn't say in order to function, I said in order to function properly. There's a lot of hosts that claim to be WordPress hosting specialists, but you do need to make sure that their servers meet the requirements. This URL will actually take you to a WordPress.org page and tell you exactly what those requirements are. So you do want to make sure that your hosting environment is locked up tight and is exactly what WordPress recommends it should be. Okay? Start there. Outdated WordPress version. WordPress is the life of your site. It's the core. It's the deep down basic foundation software that makes it all run. Those updates are there for a reason. They're not there to drive you crazy. They're there for a reason to make your site better, more secure, and function properly. Okay? Plugin conflicts. Anybody ever have a plugin conflict? Why is that? What is wrong with all these plugin conflicts? Why? Why does that happen? Shout it out. Any reasons? Say it again? Namespaces. Okay, that's a possibility.
Bad coding.
A lot of times, actually most of the time, the developers of these third-party plugins are not always thinking about how their plugin is going to work with other plugins. There's too many variables. And in most cases, those variables can be ironed out so everybody plays nice. But plugin conflicts is a very, very common cause of WordPress needing support. Theme conflicts, same thing. Same exact scenario. Updates. Again, if your engine light comes on in your car, what do? You leave it on? If your gas light comes on, you leave your gas. If you leave your gas light on, what's going to happen? You're going to run out of gas, and then you're going to be stuck. That little update bubble is there for a reason. It's not there to annoy you. Take care of it, because it could cause problems. Malicious files on a server. Okay? Local computer settings, very common. That could be anything from the operating system to the infection software to the browser settings. But my all-time favorite, why WordPress can break. Does anybody know what it is? User error. User error. Thank you very much. That is the #1 reason why WordPress does not work properly, because the user doesn't work properly. And that's got to shake a little bit because it's important. If there's one slide I want you to remember, this is the only one. I'm going to have a little moment of silence for it. That wasn't silent, guys. You have to back up your site. Ask yourself right now, inside voice, do you have a backup strategy in place? Okay? If the answer is no, make an inside note to get one. Okay? Very, very important. You have to back up your site. I want to share some tools for backup with you, both free and paid. On our free list, we have online backup for WordPress, Duplicator, BackWP Up, and Updraft Plus. All of these will allow for automated backups as well. And then on the paid side, we have Backup Buddy, Snapshot, Manage WP, and Updraft Plus as well. Updraft Plus, and this is no, I just love these guys. I would trust my kids with them. They are the only backup plugin in the WordPress world that will do automated backups before you update anything. They're the only plugin that does that. If you want to know more about that, I can talk to you after. But they're the only plugin that will do that. So before you hit the update button, they will automatically back everything up in case anything goes haywire. They do have a free version, and then the premium version as well. The free version is actually more than sufficient in most cases. Okay? Are there any other backup tools that anybody wants to share that they use, they love?
A lot of hosts have managed WordPress.
Hosts have managed WordPress. Managed WordPress has become a very popular thing over the past couple of years, where you can get automated daily backups through your host.
But it usually only backs up for a month, so you don't have all the backups.
Correct. And the downside that I've seen with managed hosting backups is those backups are not sent remotely somewhere. They're stored at the host level. So, any other tools? Want to share? Share them loudly? No? Server press? Absolutely. Sure. And this link here will show you how to back everything up manually, if you dare do it. Okay? But why not? Why not, right? Got nothing to do on a Sunday afternoon? Go back up manually. Why not? It's fun. Don't call me if it goes wrong. Okay. I've tried my absolute best to put together the best list of tools that don't cost you any money. Okay? Or they have free options and a premium option. Okay? And what I like to tell people, I totally understand when you're on a budget and you don't want to invest in some software that can help you manage your websites better, or you don't really know if you want to pay for something before you use it. I totally get that. But in most of the cases, in fact, in all of the cases of these tools I'm about to show you, the premium upgrades are so minimal for the amount of features that you receive with each one. In most cases, it's worth it. But I did my very best to find you free versions of all the tools I'm going to talk about. Okay? So let's break down category 1, organization. Account passwords. Who is so sick of passwords? Does everybody in this room use the same password for everything? No. For your stuff? No. You actually can't, because different logins have different criteria sometimes for the passwords. So depending on what that criteria is, it's pretty impossible to have the same password for everything. Okay? Any freelancers in here? How many passwords you guys got in your heads? Okay. Project files. Oh, gosh. Nuts, right? Just one 8-page website. Oh, no. One photography website. How many project files? How about a foodie website, a foodie blog? How many files, right? Got to keep those organized. And then time. Time is the one thing. It's in red because that's a mean thing. Time is mean. It's never on our side, is it? But you can manage it, right, with the right tools. So let's talk about passwords. These are some of the tools. LastPass, they do offer a free plan, and their premium plan, believe it or not, it's $12 a year. If any of us drove more than an hour to get here, we've spent more than $12, okay? LastPass is awesome. It allows you to install a browser plugin to log into all the stuff that you use. There also is a mobile app that you can install to log in through your mobile device, okay? Yeah, LastPass is awesome. Another tool is Dashlane. Dashlane has all the similar features of LastPass, but it offers more group sharing of passwords. So if you're working with a team of people, Dashlane is going to be a better solution. And then there's a nice, easy to use, very simplistic password storing system called Sticky Password. All of these tools have free options as well as premium. Okay? And again, these underlined are hyperlinks for more information on those. Yes, loud.
Just wanted to say that LastPass you can do sharing as well.
You can. Okay. Okay. Great. One password. One password. It's another tool. Okay. What about Notepad or Excel? Why are you laughing? It's on the slide. Why are you laughing? If it's on the slide, it's a good tool, right? It's not a good tool. It's not a good tool. We'll cross that out. So you guys are right. Keep laughing. Keep laughing. Okay, files. Let's talk about some tools for managing file storage. Okay. Google Drive. Google Apps changed my life about 7 years ago. Anybody use Google Apps? Changed my life. Anybody hate Google Apps? One person hates it. Okay.
I use it and hate it.
Use it and hate it. Okay. Let's talk, because I want you to love it. I want you to love it. I don't want you to use something that you hate. You have to love it. Google Drive is great, and for a minimal amount, you get unlimited storage. Done. Unlimited. Not limited, unlimited. Done. Dropbox, they actually don't have a free plan anymore, do they? Do they? Is it like 1 gig? Is it 5? You share, you get more? Okay. But their $15 a month plan gives you unlimited space. And the thing I like about these two is they pretty much integrate with everything. Okay, so if you need to share files on the go, these two tools are amazing. Okay, and you can have, of course, synced between all your devices, whatever you need. I had a friend that was an attorney, and she would use Dropbox for all her documents that she could send her clients. And these are just great tools for on-the-go document sharing. And then Box will give you actually 10 gigs for free. Okay, and Box is a very easy-to-use platform as well. Anybody use any of these tools? Yeah? Any other tools? Say it loud. Loud and proud. What was that? OneDrive. OneDrive. Yep. What else? Droppler. All right. What else?
What about Amazon?
Amazon?
Yeah, they have a
Like web
web
server storage? Yep. What about email inbox? You guys are all afraid to laugh now, huh? Because it's on the slide. It's on the slide. Absolutely not. No. Not your email inbox. You don't want it. That's, you know, you might have the space, and that's great in your inbox, but just searching for something, get a good file storage tool. Okay. Time. All right. This is that mean word again, because it's never on our side, right? But it's something that can be managed. Absolutely. And if you are a freelancer, or even if you aren't, I doubt either one of you have time. But if you're a freelancer and you have time, you're probably not a decent freelancer. Or if you're a business owner and you have extra time, your business probably isn't doing so well. So none of us really have extra time, but you can manage it so you can maximize the most of your time. And you can use tools to do that, okay? They actually, I don't remember the exact article, and I can't quote the exact names in the article, but they interviewed 10 of the top athletes in each sport. And it turns out that these athletes had coaches for coaches for coaches for coaches. They had so many tools to make them successful in everything they did, from playing their sport, to eating, to waking up, to reading. You got to have the tools that are available out there to make things easier for you. And in this case, WordPress support easier. Appointee. Love Appointee. I was a developer for about 10 years, and I met with clients all the time. I very rarely get dressed now and do my business in my pajamas, but I used to have to meet with clients, have big scale meetings, and I used Appointee. And the great thing about this tool is you can take their widgets and you can embed them in whatever interface you're using to interact with your clients so they can schedule meetings. They also have a Facebook widget that will allow people to schedule meetings through your Facebook page. They might even have some new tools. This was a couple years back.
I'm sorry, is that a plugin?
It is, no, it is a software service.
Okay.
So it's a cloud software service. You subscribe to the service. They offer you widgets that you can use on your site, so nobody has to go to the Appointee. They also, if you don't have a website, they also offer an interface online where people can make appointments with you, okay? This is a great tool for hairdressers, chiropractors, mechanics, you know, anybody that relies on appointments to make money. Realtors. They do have a free option. And the free option is actually pretty robust. Doodle. Anybody use Doodle? Doodle? So Doodle is like a massive team management appointment sharing system, okay? It does include many, if not all of the features of Appointee, but it is a more massive scale team management scheduler. And then when I work, does anybody have employees? Have employees? So when I work, we'll do all the things of the first two tools, but it also will allow you to create schedules for your employees, okay? And they, unfortunately, do not have a free plan, but they do have a trial offer. You can try it for like 14 days. But that will allow you to actually do employee scheduling, and your employees can log in and view their schedule, clock in even, and things of that nature. Any other appointment tools or time management tools?
Schedule once.
Schedule once. Great tool. Do they have a free option?
Not sure.
Book Me. Good tool. What else?
Time camp.
Say it again.
Time camp.
Time Camp. Okay. What about Franklin Covey Planner? Does anybody know what that is? Totally got you guys. This is a good tool. Raise your hand if you know what that is. So in the last year of my development career, I actually switched to that. And the reason I switched to that is I was in a mastermind group, and one of the members in the mastermind group was a mortgage broker. And this is what he swore up and down, because it's an actual system. There's a way to prioritize your task. There's a way to follow up with yourself. And what I really liked about the Franklin Covey Planner is I could touch it. I could touch it, and I could sit on the couch at the end of the night, and I could flip through the pages, and I could look back, and I could make notes, and really enjoyed that. It actually made me more productive in some areas. But it's a good, they actually have like 8-hour training courses that you can go to learn how to use that. It's pretty insane, but it's like a telephone book software. But it worked really well. Okay, communication, that's key, right? Especially for the freelancers in here. We do have to communicate to our clients, okay? And there's many different ways that you can do that, but the main thing to remember with communication is being available and being responsive, right? Would we agree? We're all consumers. We're all consumers. If we're trying to do business with somebody, we're trying to reach them, we want them to be available and we want them to be responsive, right? So our clients want the same from us. But you got to use the tools to make that easier. So some of the tools that you can use, or some of the categories within this is support request, right? Instant live connection, where people can get you instantly, no matter what. And then email. See, that's in red too, because that's a mean word. That's just a mean word. So some of the tools to help you with those is Freshdesk. Okay, anybody heard of Freshdesk? Freshdesk is an online ticketing system. Back when I started my support company in 2011, we actually built our own ticketing system. It was the dumbest and most expensive thing I ever did in my life. In my life, and I've done a lot of dumb, expensive things. That was the worst thing I ever did. We now use Freshdesk. We use Freshdesk for everything. 48,000 tickets. Not all of them were on Freshdesk, but the majority of them were on Freshdesk. They do have a free plan, up to 3 agents actually that you can have on that. Another one which is almost identical to Freshdesk is Zendesk. Anybody use Zendesk? And Help Scout. Help Scout's awesome. Such a cool interface, very easy to use. All of these tools have a free plan. If you're a sole proprietor and you want to handle support requests from your clients very easily, instead of them emailing you their request, you can create a really cool ticket system and a portal online where they can submit these requests. You can prioritize them and you can knock them out. And then there's a record of communication as well, because that's also important when dealing with people. Okay? You want to keep things on record, especially with clients. Any other tools?
I want to put another vote in for Freshdesk. I'm a small operator, and I pay for their support because when you go to the paid, I get all my Twitter replies and all my Facebook messages come to me through my support desk.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like there's 3 or 4 things that I have to be checking every hour. It's all coming through one way, and it's coming in on my phone, and just love it.
Yeah, you can literally be available all the time, as long as you're awake and your phone's with you, with all 3 of these systems, because they all have mobile apps. And what she was saying is very good, because you can create a process where anybody that says something on your Twitter account can be created into a support ticket, or vice versa with a Facebook page as well. That communication can be created into a support ticket.
Yeah, I would say Freshdesk as well. I use it, and I use it a little differently. I use it as an internal ticket system for my developers, and I wanted a place where I could make notes from my client conversations that the developers couldn't see, and they customized and provided that for me for free.
They're awesome. They're the best. They also have a phone option too, that you can take phone calls through your computer and turn that conversation into a support ticket. Basecamp is great. Basecamp is awesome. And that's really robust.
But the version 3 has a client-side one now, so it gives them a customized portal where they can just deal with email directly.
Awesome. What about voicemail? Is that a good place for support requests? Not really. So we're going to cross that one out. Okay, what about live help? You know, those little chat bubbles that come up. You know, I want everybody in this room to think of yourself as a consumer right now, and you're shopping around online. People usually research 2 to 3 sites before they make a purchasing decision, right? Have you ever heard robo-marketing, research online, buy offline? Live chats can actually help convert a lot of that business, because if somebody has a question that you probably have answered it on your site, but they just can't find it, or they just don't have the patience to find it, somebody is there instantly, right? Available and responsive. That's what it's about. So some of the good tools that you can use, Pure Chat. We actually use Pure Chat in our company, and what's interesting is Pure Chat was a college project started in Arizona a couple years back, and when it first came out, they gave you all the bells and whistles for free because it was beta. Now they actually charge pretty heavily for it, but they do have a free option. Pure Chat's very lightweight. People can ask a question, you can answer it. The great thing with Pure Chat too is when you're not at your computer, everything can go to your cell phone, okay? And it comes through like a text message. It's so fast, and you can answer. They don't know you're not at your desk. They don't know where you are. Great tool for realtors, actually. Really great tool. Another one is Olark. Anybody use Olark? Seen that? You've probably used it, didn't know you were using it. But Olark is a great live chat option that can be put onto a WordPress site. They do have a free plan. And then Join Me. Anybody use Join Me? Join Me is awesome. You know what's so good about Join Me compared to all the other? Let me back up. Join Me is a screen sharing, live, remote access tool, okay? So you and me can get online. I can see your computer, you can see mine. I can give you control, you can take control of my mouse. We can talk on the phone. We can do everything together, right? Like we're in the same room.
And it's a fraction of the price of
The best thing about Join Me, though, is you don't have to download anything to use it. Because there's a lot of tools like Join Me. The majority of them that I've used, you actually have to download some software, install, follow a bunch of prompts, and we all know that there are people that can have difficulty with some of that stuff, right? Not necessarily because of them, but because maybe their system doesn't support the software, their browser is not up to, I mean, there could be a number of reasons. Join Me is great because you don't have to download anything, okay? And you can start using it today for free with your clients or whoever. What about phone call? Is that a good live communication tool? I stumped you on that one, huh?
Depends on the customer.
Phone call's okay. Yeah, phone call's okay. It's not. You guys are so scared to answer that one. I think, especially for consumer.
I just want to be able to. I don't understand this, and I just
Correct.
walk through technical support.
A lot of times, people are not going to sit there and type an essay inside of that little chat box that's this big, right? And they don't need to say an essay, but they want to. And because they want to say an essay, they want a phone number, okay? So again, it's about being accessible and being responsive. Give them the option to call, okay? But it does depend on the individual. There's people that just don't want to be on the phone now. You know, you have the complete opposite as well. There's people that will do nothing but the phone, and then there's people that won't go on the phone. But it's still okay. It's still a good tool, for sure.
Depends on the level of complexity of your question.
Correct. Sometimes the phone call is easier. Not if you're breaking up with somebody, though, right? That's just text them. Okay, what about reaching out? Reaching out, what I mean by that is email. Okay? Does anybody use email? Email's a pain, isn't it? When are they going to come up with something new? We need like a new solution email. But until they do, there's tools that can help us manage it and make it more friendly and make us more productive, okay? One of those tools, I found this tool about a year, maybe and some change ago. Man, I love Google Inbox. Anybody use Google Inbox? Holy moly, we got to get some more users on. How many people use a Google Apps or Gmail address? Okay, put Google Inbox in your notes right now. The great thing about Google Inbox is so powerful. The great thing about Google Inbox is you can snooze your emails. You can snooze them. What does that mean? Why is that great? Is anybody a zero inbox person? Yes, my man right there. Is anybody a 100 or less inbox person? Okay, all right, okay, that's better, that's better. So the great thing about snoozing emails, for example, I'm at WordCamp today. There's just emails that I can't respond to today. But what I can do is I can snooze it for the time when I can respond. and that can be tomorrow at 2:22. That can be Wednesday, because I need something on Tuesday in order to answer it Wednesday. I can snooze whatever comes into my email box till whatever date I want. And it might not make sense until you try it, but once you try it, you'll never turn back. Do you love Google Inbox? Amen, sister. That's what I'm saying. Google Inbox has changed my life. Now, I only use the mobile version of Google Inbox. I'm not a big fan of the desktop version because it does weird stuff with folders, and I like the regular interface for Gmail on the desktop version. But the mobile version of Google Inbox will destroy any other email mobile app.
So you can send us when I get home, get the email.
It'll all fall down, right? See? Google Inbox, it's so cool. And it's absolutely free. Free, they don't even have a premium plan. Completely free. I would get on it quick before they changed that to a paid plan. Google Apps back in the day used to be able to get 100 users for free. 100. Remember that? That was awesome. I used to sell it to clients. You want Google Apps for your entire company? Yeah, it's going to cost you this. Go to Google, get it for free. It's awesome. They were paying me for the setup. They weren't paying me for the software. And then they went down to 50 users for free. Then they went down to 20 maybe. Then they went down to 10. And now you have to pay for it. Can't get it for free anymore. So jump on Google Inbox. Boomerang is another Google Gmail tool. Anybody use Boomerang? Boomerang is cool. So what's cool about Boomerang is it will let you schedule the send to whenever you want. Okay? And where I always use Boomerang is on follow-ups, right? Send out the proposal, and then I would have an automated follow-up go out, I don't know, 24 to 48 hours if they haven't responded yet. So you can help automate some of the things that you do in your email using Boomerang.
Is it autoresponder?
Autoresponder is not the right terminology for it. It does do that, but it's more of an email scheduler. You can set the schedule and frequency of when you want your written email to go out, and it will do it for you once you set that up. Okay. Does anybody do monthly maintenance support for websites? Okay. So I used to use Boomerang to send out that monthly email to the customers to let them know that their website was updated, and we'll see them next month. And instead of typing that email every month, it just sent it out automatically. Okay, so Boomerang is really good for that. They do have a free plan. And then this link here will take you to 15 other really powerful free Gmail plugins or Google Apps plugins, same thing. So that's really cool. Check that out on the slides. Any other tools? Email tools? I talked only about Gmail, but any other tools? Basecamp and customer training. Okay? What else? What about MS Outlook? What about Microsoft Outlook? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So Outlook brings all that stuff down on your computer. Outlook is not an email service. It's just a storage locker. I used Outlook for years, loved it for years, and then I went to Google Apps, changed my life. Changed my life. But we can talk more about that, though. Any other tools? Yeah, email tools.
I just started using one-page CRM. It's a handy tool. Not only allows me to record all my notes for my customers' interactions and deals and all stuff, but it integrates with Google Inbox.
Nice.
And so anytime my client sends me an email, it immediately goes into their file, and I've got a copy of the email.
So
Attachment that came with it. If they send me a message on Twitter or Facebook, it immediately captures that, puts it in.
So it's a CRM that integrates with your Gmail. Awesome. Very nice. One page.
CRM.
Anything else?
What do you use for a desktop client? Are you just using your browser to connect to Gmail?
I'm just using the browser, yes. Only using the browser. There's enough junk on my computer. I don't need to download emails. And plus it's It's in the cloud, so no matter what device, no matter where I am, everything is synced up, you know? Anything else? Reportive? Reportive. Is this a CRM or an email delivery?
No, it's a plugin for Gmail, and it allows you to see people's LinkedIn information.
Yes. I think that's in that list, actually. It shows on the right-hand side, shows their profiles, yeah.
I don't know if this counts here or somewhere else, but Slack.
Slack's a great tool. Gotten so popular in the last year, hasn't it? Slack's a great tool. Sorry. Sorry. Okay.
What cloud do you use for saving email?
I use Google Apps. All Google Apps. Okay, I got 10 minutes left, so we're going to blaze through a few things here. So knowledge, I said, was the most important thing. Because without knowledge, you cannot provide top-notch WordPress support. This is a very simple slide. This are hand-picked, hand-selected places on the web where you can get some of the best knowledge for supporting WordPress, okay? And I bet a lot of you guys know these. That's actually supposed to be two different lines, but WordPress.org Codex, there's a lot of good information in there. We have WP Beginner. Anybody use that ever? Huge. It's great. A lot of stuff on there. WP Help Forum, and again, these are all links, so you can check these out in the slides. Lynda.com, great, great. And my all-time favorite, and Priscilla will testify to this, WordPress Facebook groups. You can get more information from WordPress Facebook groups than anything, from real people that have done exactly what you're asking. It's such a community. So WordPress Facebook groups. This link will take you off to, I think it's like the top 15 on Facebook. Okay, has anybody ever seen this? Yep. I guarantee if you don't provide support for your WordPress sites, you will see this one day probably. You have to support your sites, and that comes with updating. Some of the tools that you can use if you do ever see that screen is you could run your site on an online website to see if it's actually infected. And this is a list of 7 online solutions where you can just paste in the URL. It will kick back and let you know if it's infected. If you do have administrative access to your site, you can do a detailed scan with this plugin. Absolutely love this plugin because it scans the whole server. Anti-malware from .mls. It's a free plugin. And you can do a free computer scan. They do have a Mac and a PC version of Malwarebytes, and that is free software. You can contact your host. You pay them every month. Get them to help you support your WordPress sites as well. Okay, that's what they're there for. Lean on them. After you have cleaned up an infection, there are some additional tools that you will need to make sure your website gets back to good standing in the search engines. But before you do that, there is a list of security plugins so you can prevent the infection from happening again. This is a list of the best security plugins of 2016. I think this is on Elegant Themes, where this article came from. You have to request a Google site review if you do see that blacklisted screen. Or have you ever seen this site may be hacked in the search result? You ever seen that? It will require a Google site review to remove either one of those, and this will explain how to do that. Actually, that's the same thing. All right, one of those got to go away. And this little tutorial will show you how to beef up your security rules in your .ht access file, which is a key file in the lifeline of WordPress. Okay? Does anybody know what a cPanel is? Is everybody comfortable with cPanel? No. Okay. Learn cPanel. If you do have a host that uses cPanel, you're very fortunate. It can make your life a lot easier. But learn it. Don't be scared of it. Try things. Read things. Ask your host things. But what I've done to help you with all of that and help you learning cPanel is I put together a good list of URLs that will teach you cPanel. The best one in this list is the 300 and something videos of how to actually do things. And they're just screen captures. Nobody's talking. They're short little 1-2 minute videos that will show you, how to point a domain name, how to access PHP My Admin. All the things that you will use often when supporting WordPress. Okay? cPanel is extremely powerful. Love cPanel. All right. So again, the defined approach to building your WordPress toolkit is to break it up into 3 categories. Do you remember those 3 categories? What's the most important? Knowledge. Thank you.